Good evening, viewer, and welcome once again to Real Talk Show, hosted by Violet Mbiti, which interviews amazing guests from across the African continent who are doing amazing work. So today, I'm privileged to have on board Dr. Beatrice, who hails from Kenya, which is in Eastern Africa. And she's here to share about the professional known as mediation. So she is a mediation expert and she's here to expound more about it. Welcome to the studio, Dr. Beatrice.
So much, Dr. Violet. I'm happy to be here.
Kindly share with us about mediation. What is mediation and how did you get started with regard to mediation? Even you can say, maybe you can share a brief profile about yourself and then now we can delve into it.
Thank you so much. My name is Dr. Beatrice Nzou. I'm an accredited professional mediator. I'm also accredited to the Mediation Accreditation Committee of Kenya. And I am accredited also to the judiciary. That means I handle cases from the judiciary. I'm a trainer for mediation with Mediation Training Institute International. I am also a member of ICMC board. ICMC stands for Institute of Chartered Mediators and Counselors, where I sit in the main board. I am also a mentor with MTI. I am an assessor. I'm also a member of IMI Institute, International Mediators Institute.
Wow.
And more than that, I am also a member of the local chapter of Machakos Mediators. I'm based in Machakos and I work under the umbrella of Angels Paradise Counseling, Mediation and the Mediation Center. And Angels Paradise Counseling Mediation Center has partnered with Mediation Training Institute of East Africa in the area of training mediators. I am in charge of the mediators in Lower Eastern as far as MTI is concerned, and I'm also a member of Court Annexed Mediation Wing in Kenya.
Awesome. Kindly share with us what mediation is and at what point does one now engage the services of a mediator?
Okay, thank you. We all know that in life, everybody faces a challenge which could be a conflict. And if we want to be fair with ourselves, this morning when we woke up, we had one big conflict of deciding which dress or which blouse or which suit to wear as you walked into your office this morning. And so mediation deals with conflict, where somebody is not agreeing with oneself or two people are not agreeing on how to agree on how to go about with an issue. One thing that we need to realize is that mediation is the inner thing right now, is cheaper because you don't have to spend a lot of time in the court with the legal attachments where you have to go and walk in the advocate's office every now and then. It is also handled in a manner that it is flexible, though it is fully recognized by the law in the Constitution of Kenya. It is flexible the way people come to arrive at their decisions. And it is good to know that mediation also maintains relationships, because usually where there is a conflict, it is between two people, and these two people or more than three people have got, they are not agreeing on something. And usually they are related in one way or the other. They might be siblings, they could be workmates, they could be people who worship together, they could even be neighbors. And you realize that they are not able to agree. And when it comes like issues of inheritance, particularly where parents have passed on and the siblings are there fighting with the uncles and the aunties, the easiest thing to go for is for mediation, because mediation will be able even to repair that relationship. And one good thing about mediation is that the decision is made by the client themselves. Nobody tells you what to do. It is you who accepts and decides to agree on what should be done, the way things should be done.
Wow, wow, wow. Incredible, incredible. So maybe you can share with us an example of mediation that you have been engaged in and how it went.
Quite a number. I've been able for the last, since January this year, I think I've handled around 20 mediations, and most of them have got to do with the inheritance, where siblings are fighting over the inheritance of their parents. And I want to say that I've never had a situation where the siblings don't agree at all. Even if they don't agree on one item, usually there are quite a number of things that they agree upon. And the beauty of mediation is that at the end of the mediation, you just see people smile at each other. People who have not been able even to greet each other on the road, you find them talking and apologizing and saying, let's team up together and move on. The other type of a case that I have handled in mediation since January is where somebody had been sold land by another. And then it turned out to be that there was the land was sold to many people, not one person. And it was, these people were really bitter. The person who had bought the land was very bitter because it's like he was sold the heir. And when we went into mediation, they were able to agree on how this person is going to get his land. And they walked out of my office very happy. And even now, they call to say, thank you, you really helped us a lot.
Awesome. Now, I'd also like to ask, have you have you mediated for maybe persons who are in relationship who have divorced or are thinking about divorce, and it's kind of difficult for them to agree on certain matters? Have you?
Yes, Daktari, I've been able to handle these cases where mostly it touches on child maintenance, child custody,
Yeah.
and even how to share the property that these people have been having together. And I've gotten success story for these people to come together and agree and say, some have even made a decision to say, I don't see why we are parting ways. Let's look at what is hurting us and let's repair our relationship. And they have moved on.
Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, because like I found that that dealing with the courts is kind of expensive, and I know of even persons who have tried engaging the office of the chief, but it has not worked. So now they want to go to the court. So now I think now mediation is the in thing, and I'd like also to ask you, do many people know about mediators? Do they really know about about the services that you offer? Because when I found out about mediation, I was really, really excited when you even shared about the work that you do.
I must admit, Daktari, that mediation is a new concept in our society right now. And the way Kenyans we are wired is that the court is the one which is always right. But remember, when you go to court, somebody has to lose and another one has to gain. But in mediation, everybody is a winner. Nobody loses because you agree. This is how far you are and this is how far I am. Like, let's say somebody is demanding 20,000 shillings from another, and he says, I want my 20,000. But the other person says, I cannot afford to pay you 20,000 right now. But if you give me time, I can be able to pay you the 20,000. And so these people are able to agree on the installments and by what date they will be able to do. But if they went to court, the court will just say, pay 20,000 final.
Yeah.
But in mediation, even the person who is demanding the 20,000 can even decide to say, we really worked together for a long time and I don't want to push you to the corner. Just pay me 18,000. You see, the person who was supposed to pay 20,000 has gotten 2,000. So in mediation, nobody loses. Everybody gains.
Wow. So the other thing that I'd also like to ask is with regard to mediation, do the clients have to bring evidence to you as the mediator so that you can decide? And another one tied to that is a mediator the same as a judge or magistrate?
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one, Daktari. It is true when people come for mediation, at the back of their minds, they want to prove themselves right. So many times somebody will come with the evidence. I lent this man 20,000. Here is the place, here is the agreement where he signed to have gotten this 20,000. So it is good to have evidence of what people are disagreeing about. In regard to a mediator being a judge, a mediator is not a judge. A mediator is a mediator. Just like the word says, it is the person who sits in between the two people who have a conflict. And the mediator has no interest in the case. The mediator is non-partisan. It is the parties who decide on what they want to agree about. And it's good at this point, Daktari, to say that once you've gotten the two clients who are fighting over something or disagreeing over something, the moment they reach an agreement, you put that agreement into writing and the two parties sign, and you yourself as a mediator also signs. Now, if after you have signed that, you can lodge it to the court and the court will adopt that as a court ruling. And what happens is that since you are an accredited mediator with the judiciary or even with the mediation accreditation committee, the moment you submit that, you register that agreement to the court, it is placed before the judge and the judge pronounces it as a court ruling. And that means now enforcement of the decision is powerful because the court cannot be disobeyed.
Wow, wow, awesome. So I recently learned that you also have a mediation school. Kindly share about the mediation school.
Thank you. As I said in my introduction, is that my company has partnered with Mediation Training Institute East Africa, and we train on professional mediation. The training takes 5 days, Monday to Friday, 8 to 4. And after one has been able to go through the training, the person goes home with a professional certificate and a letter introducing you to the Mediation Accreditation Committee. With those two documents, you are able to apply for accreditation with the Mediation Accreditation Committee. Maybe at another point, you will be able to talk on the process of getting yourself on the Mediation Accreditation Committee data. But the good thing to talk about the training is that this training is very intensive. And after you have been able to be trained through MTI, MTI ensures that you get mentorship from the mentors who are also members and trainers of MTI. And I said MTI is Mediation Training Institute East Africa. So the institute will not let you alone. They will work with you and ensure you are able to stand on your own. You are able to handle cases either outside the court or even in the court. It's a process that is very enjoyable to do.
So another question someone may ask before enrolling for the course, does mediation pay well? So that they can know whether it is value for money.
There is a value for money. Right now, you can do mediation once you have been accredited and you are made to be part of a member of the mediators in Kenya. Remember, not everybody who is a mediator. We have quite a number who are out there claiming to be mediators, but that's not my line. What I want to say is that the moment you are accredited, you are trained to start with. That is the beginning point. And as you train and you do mentorship, we have rates for how much you can charge per hour. Or the other alternative is you look at the value of the case and you agree on a percentage. Now, on the other side, if you get a case from the court or through the mediation, the annex department of the court, what happens is right now, currently, they are paying 20,000 shillings per case. That's not bad money if you can be able to put a smile on somebody's face.
Exactly. So now in conclusion, I'd like you maybe to speak to someone right now, maybe share your closing remarks and also your contact details, just in case they want to hire you so that you can mediate for their case.
Thank you so much, Daktari. My number is my name is, I said, is Dr. Beatrice Nzou. My contact number is 0724 17 92 88. I repeat, 0724 17 92 88. My email is beatricenzou@yahoo.com or beatricenzou@gmail.com. The two emails will land on my desk. And the other thing that I want to say as a closing remark is that people need to embrace mediation, because mediation is the inner thing. It is very friendly, very cost effective, and it repairs, maintains relationships, and that's what we need. I want to say that anybody who is a professional qualifies to be trained as a mediator. And there are as many lines and streams, departments for mediation as there are occupation. We need mediators who can mediate in insurance matters, medical, employment, name it, as many as there are, and more than anything else, the family, inheritance. And right now, one of my experience that I have been able to observe is that if you go to the courts right now, the cases there have got to do with inheritance, particularly on property. And you realize most of the people involved are old, elderly people. And so it's good to train as a mediator from your locality, so that when you are accredited to the court that is near you, you can be able to help those elderly people. Some of them only talk in their own language. and they will really love a mediator who can understand what they are saying. Otherwise, mediation is the inner thing. We have a training that is coming on 24th to 28th at Machakos, 24th to 28th of April at Machakos SCK Guest House. Those who would want to come on board, please, you have my number 0724 179288. Get in touch and I'll give you the details about the training.
Thank you so much, Dr. Beatrice, for sharing. And viewer, you've heard about the training, and you've also learned about, after the training, how much you can charge per case. So you've heard her say that per case you can charge 20,000 shillings, which is approximately $200. So if you have maybe if you handle 2 cases, 3 cases, 4 cases, or 5 cases, you yourself can do the math. So
yeah,
it's value for money. So enroll for the class. And thank you so much, Dr. Beatrice, for sharing. And we wish you all the best in your endeavor.
Thank you so much, Daktari. It was my pleasure to host me.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
All right, all right. So viewer, you've heard for yourself, and you've heard about mediation, how it is the in thing at the moment. And if you want to be a consultant with regard to mediation, get in touch with Dr. Beatrice so that she can guide you, and so that you may grow your career. So thank you for joining us today on Real Talk Show, hosted by yours truly, and see you next time, even as we host another guest.